This is the 1st of March, 2016. I'm calling you from Shanghai, China. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. You got me up too early. But I decided to do it live rather than record because I enjoy it myself better that way. And I got a chance to talk to Nancy and Brian in the UK and some of the rest of you. Welcome to our call. This is the Goldmiind series, and the purpose of these calls, just to remind you again, if you're watching this in a replay line later, because this call is available for you to watch throughout this next week in a video that'll be down here below on the goldmiind.com website. And then after this week is up, the call will be placed in the archive down below further. So you can always go there and watch it if you want to. Anyway, the purpose of our calls is to expand your mind, not only in building an RX, but in all areas of your life, for you to be successful in everything you do. Because if you grow in RX, you want to grow in everywhere else in your life, don't you? So this is the fundamental basic cycle of RX is to find 4 customers and to teach those customers to find 4 customers. And that's the process of going gold, being a person who's enrolled 4 people in the first 8 weeks of your business in RX. Well, if you miss that 8-week window, then you can always go silver, which means you'll get 4 eventually, however long it takes you. And the bottom line is, the more quickly you can not only yourself enroll 4 people in RX, but if you can teach people how they can do that in that 8-week window, if you can become a master at that, if you can be really a great trainer that will teach people, inspire people to enroll their first 4 as quickly as possible, then you've cracked the code on the secret process of succeeding in RX, because that's the most difficult cycle. So last week we were talking about growing a crop. That's the metaphor that we're going to be using. And so I'm going to slip over to my screen and screen share. So Brenda, if that isn't available to you, let me know. In fact, let me know when you see the picture of me.
Looks good.
Brenda. Good. All right. So now on the either side of the picture, do you see the cosmos, the stars in the universe, the galaxies?
No, right now I see your picture and Robert Allen, #1 New York Times bestselling author. No cosmos.
Okay, good. So today I'm here in Shanghai, China. It's a little after 5 o'clock in the morning. I've got a very full day ahead of me. I've got meetings at 10 o'clock, lunch at 12:30, a training all afternoon, dinner tonight. And so it's going to be a very full day. It's a day of building in art. They're going to be held on Thursday for RX members learning about Jouvet and the product itself. And they've been holding major meetings all across China. And I've been doing some trainings myself in Taipei. So I took a flight to get here. And literally as the earth is curved, so this is exactly the route the plane took, all the way over to Taipei. It's a 14-hour flight. And then I spent a couple of days in Taipei, had meetings there. And then we flew to Shanghai yesterday. So from Taipei to Shanghai was a 2-hour flight. Asia is amazing. It's the most incredible part of the world. Got a chance to go to church while I was here. I took one of my business fun time. And then in the middle of Taipei, there is this tower. It's 101 stories tall. And it used to be the tallest building in the world. It no longer is. There is a building that was taller in Shanghai. And hopefully the next couple of days I'll get a chance to go to the top of that one. That was a lot of fun. But now this one has been superseded by one, if I'm not mistaken, in Dubai. That's even a little bit taller than this one. But this is a fun, tall tower. It's right in the middle of the city. It's huge. And here I'm down below at the bottom of that tower, taking a shot up to the very top. And then when you go up to the very top, you get a chance to see, and these are the photos that I took 2 days ago from the top of the 101 Tower in Taipei. This golden image of the building down below there is Chiang Kai-shek's memorial building. And Chiang Kai-shek was the Chinese leader who left mainland China in a war with Mao Zedong. I don't know the history perfectly, but when they were kicked out of China, they came to Taiwan, and then they started all over again in a more free society. And of course, Mao Zedong had here in China had a more communistic society, and so there's always been some challenges between them. But this is where I was a couple days ago, and it's a beautiful city. It's a huge city. There are 23 million people in Taipei, in Taiwan. Somebody says, you know, the population of Canada, it's 25-ish million, onto the island of Vancouver Island on the west coast of Canada, and that's Taiwan. 23 million people jammed into this, the 101 Tower, Aaron and myself. And you want to know how that happened, I'll bet. How did they make that photo? Did they have us hanging off the edge of? Well, this is how they do it. They put you on a green screen and make you pose, and then they superimpose the image behind it. And so that's kind of fun. Now, last week we talked about the fields you're growing around you. You are a farmer. And we talked about the field that's closest to you is that hot field, the hot people that you know, your family, your friends. Your network is your net worth. As many more friends you have, the richer you are, frankly. And then outside of that, there's your warm market. That's people you meet on a daily basis. And this is where you're doing your networking, your net worthing, we call it. As you build more friends, you're building your net worth. So you're net worthing, right? Not networking, but net worthing. And then the final field outside you is the cold field. It's harder to grow crops out there in the cold. If we have if you, in the wintertime, can you grow crops in the wintertime? In America, sure. You just put a Quonset hut over it and you pump air into it. And you make and you put lights in there, and yeah, you can have crops grow, but it's just a heck of a lot harder. And it's a whole lot cheaper, a lot easier if you grow the crops in the summertime. And so that's where your business grows much better if you grow it in the hot and warm areas of your life rather than out in the cold where nobody knows you. And yet that's where everybody wants to go. So we discussed this last time. I'm not going to spend more time on it today. I'm going to actually give you another image. And this is an image of you as the sower in the middle of the fields all around you. And I draw it this simple because I'm not an artist, and I don't want you to draw nicely either. When you draw this out, you draw a little stick figure of you in the center, and you're flinging seeds, as you go throughout the fields, and some of those seeds grow and some of them don't. Now, there's a parable you've heard 1,000 times that's in the good book, talking about the sower, and he throws seeds, and some of the seeds fall in different places, and some of them grow and some of them don't. So the seeds that I'm gonna go back to a different way of describing it. Now, Brenda, can you see?
Yes,
the
whiteboard. Body dollar.
Yeah. Now I drew this with my little pen here at 5 o'clock in the morning. That might show it what it's like. But there are really 4 seeds that you're spreading every time you talk to somebody. You're spreading the seeds of having more friends and more love and more connection. Some people want that. That's the crop they want to grow. And everybody has crops they want to grow. In other words, they want things. That's the way I'm trying to say it. What do you want? So when you're conversing with somebody and you're asking them, well, what do you want? 5 years from now, what would you like it to be? And as they describe it to you, they're going to come up with certain images as they're thinking, yeah, well, I want a bigger house. Okay, that's probably over in the money arena. Why do you want a bigger house? Well, because I want my kids to bring all their grandkids over. Well, that's probably because of the heart symbol. In other words, they want more love, they want more relationships. Another seed that they might want is, is more time. They want more time. They're just too busy now, and they want a time when they can be more free to do what they want to do, when they want to do it, with whom they want to do it, for as long as they want to do it, without having to worry about money. And that's a classic description of an entrepreneur. They want control of their own time. And so it's a crop that they want to grow. I want to use that as a metaphor. Some people want health, and that's what the body is all about, some people want vibrant health.
Bob, your sound is cutting out.
Sharpen their minds. They want to have a six-pack abs. They want to be able to be maybe less sick, but they want to be healthier. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So if I talk a little slower, does that help? Did you hear that, Brenda? And I didn't hear you, so let's hope.
Yes, that's clear.
Okay, good. That's better. Thank you. So I want you to imagine these gifts or these seeds you're really giving to people, and you're going to help them grow a crop. And the crop is going to be, maybe the crop will be all four of these things. Maybe you'll show them how to make more money. Maybe you'll show them how to grow more health in their life. Maybe you'll show them how to grow more free time. Maybe you'll show them how to grow more love. But when people talk to you, generally speaking, they're going to talk about one of these four areas that they're looking for. And so back to our image of, let's see, get rid of that. Back to the image of the let's see. Back to the image of the sower, you see on the far right hand and left hand places in the center, the sower is flinging those four kinds of seeds. Can you see them? Heart, time, money, body, health.
Bob, we're at the beginning of the PowerPoint again.
Oh, thank you. Okay, is it flicking through the slides again, Brenda?
Yes, it's at the first slide.
I'm clicking through myself, and I am at the image of the sower.
Could everyone please mute their sound? That'd help. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Let's see. I'm going to mute everybody. I'm gonna mute all, and that even is you, Brenda. Can you talk? Can I hear you?
Yes, I can unmute myself.
Wow. Okay. Good. Okay. So back to the screen share. Oh, I see. There we go. This one. You see that now, Brenda? The sower.
Yes, I see the sower. Thank you, Bob.
All right. So technology. I'm in Shanghai, China, and the internet here is sometimes a little spotty. So this image of the person in the middle, that's you, and you have these seeds that you're flinging. And essentially, what you're saying is, do you want to grow a crop? What kind of crop do you want to grow? And now, based on the good book story of the sower, in the bottom part of the image, you see the seeds that's fallen on the road, and that's kind of like a highway. Can you see that, where the dotted lines in the middle in the bottom corner? And when the seed falls on the highway, you know, there's no soil, so the seed's going to die. And what this is basically saying is that some of the seeds just don't grow. On the far left-hand side of the image, you see the seeds falling among the rocks, and there's just no place for them to grow. They grow up, and then they get choked out by the rocks. And the very top, there are weeds where the seeds are falling, and there's no crop that is growing in those areas. And that's according to the parable of the sower. You know, he throws some seeds, and they fall on the stony ground, they fall in the weeds, they fall in the path, and they don't grow. And for you got to realize that at least 3/4 of all the seeds you ever throw will never grow. People are not interested. They don't want to grow the crop that you're offering. And just because they don't want to grow the crop doesn't mean it's not a great crop. It's just not something they want. And so you can't be offended by the fact that you've offered them a seed. The seed can grow. It can grow into a magnificent crop, but you know, they just don't want it. So people get offended all the time by you're coming to a friend of yours and you say, I just started this business, and it's about health, and you know, you do you want some more health? And they go, no, I don't. Now, they're not rejecting you. They are essentially saying, nope, I don't want that crop. So sometimes it's because you've offered them the wrong crop. So you might say, well, okay, I got all kinds of seeds here. How about, you want more friends? You want more time? You want more money? You want more health? You know, I've got all kinds of seeds, because RX is multiple ways of growing wealth in all areas of your life, right? So the bottom line is if they don't like one seed, they might like another, or they might just not like you, or they might just not like network marketing. The point is, they may not like it, so it's going to fall on deaf ears. It's going to fall on the road, the ground, in the weeds, and that doesn't mean that seed can't be moved, or that you can't cultivate an area in the middle of the weeds where they could grow a crop. Now, on the far right-hand side, and Brenda, can you still hear me? Is everything going okay?
Yep, we're good.
Good. Far right-hand side is you know, where you're going to have 100-fold yield. That means one seed can grow into 100 seeds. Now, when you look at when you plant a grain of wheat in the ground, suppose all you had was a field and you put one seed in the ground, that one that one grain of wheat is going to grow a stalk over the next several months. And eventually that one single seed will grow into a head of wheat that has up to 100 single grains of wheat from that one single seed. Did you know that? And therefore, sometimes this one single seed you plant can have a huge 100-fold growth. And most people don't, when you think about the universe and you think about higher power and you think about this incredible earth we live in, you think about the abundance of growth all around you, that a single seed, when you think about it, can have 100 babies, if you will, from that one single seed. It's just unbelievable, spectacular, that the amount of the DNA in that one single seed contains in it the blueprint for growing and sucking the nutrients from the soil into that single seed through the stalk, and as it grows all the way up to 100 times. We're not talking about 10% growth. We're not talking about 100% growth. We're talking about 100 times, 10,000%. And this is the abundance of the universe. And when you nurture, when you cultivate a field, we talked about that last week, and when you plant, which is what we're talking about this week, and you nurture, which we'll talk about next week, and you're going to harvest. But in this process of nurturing, in the months it takes for that seed to grow, there are going to be all kinds of attacks on that seed. There's going to be bad weather. There are going to be animals that are going to try to pick that seed. There are going to be people driving, cars over the middle of the field and squashing, for that seed to actually become a full head of grown wheat is really a miracle. And even in network marketing, it takes enormous effort. A lot of seeds you're going to plant will look like they're going to grow, and then they die. They'll get distracted with a million other different opportunities. And they'll quit because people quit. And for you to nurture the crop until eventually you get 2 or 3 or 4 or 6 or 7, changing metaphors now, thoroughbreds that are really racehorses in your business, it takes time. It takes 2, 3, 4, 5 years, but 7, 8 racehorses in your business. You know what that means to you? That means $1 million a year. Is that worth working for? Well, if that's what you want, if you want to make $1 million a year, sure, that's what you can absolutely earn. But will it be easy? No, it's going to be really tough. But 5 years from now, after I've done the hard work and the persistence and the dedication and one of the gals I'm working with in Taiwan, at the beginning, she's a nurse. At the beginning, she was, she didn't get this business. It was really, really hard for her to really get it. And, because, she goes to work every day, she has a job. Yesterday, we were having a little training team meeting with some of our top leaders. And I said, what do you want to do this year? And she said, I want to be president. And that means she has to grow 2 legs in this business. She has to go to have 2 solid, deep customer lines, and that would be $2,000 a week, and that's gonna be hard. And I said, how are you gonna do it? And how are you gonna make it? I was just testing her, and she said, I finally learned that it's like a deck of cards. Sometimes you turn over a deuce, sometimes you turn over a lower level card. She said, if you dealt a bad hand, then you just keep playing. Eventually you'll get a better hand. And for her to say that was really mature, for her to finally realize that this is what it takes. Sometimes you're going to get a bad hand, is the way her analogy. What I'm going to say is sometimes your seed is going to fall in the wrong place, and it's not going to grow, and it's going to hurt. And eventually, as a farmer, you just get over it. You go, that seed didn't grow. Next, let's plant some more seeds. So you're constantly planting. Now, up in the top left-hand corner, there's these lines are called the thoroughbred store. And here's the full image of the crops that we're trying to grow. On the top left-hand corner, it says the thoroughbred store. In other words, what are the characteristics of the person you're trying to attract, or the person who you're trying to grow a crop with? What kind of farmer are you trying to attract? You're trying to attract a fair weather farmer who just, give me some seeds. You haven't given me enough seeds. I want some more seeds. They're not grateful for the opportunity, and they give up quickly. If a cloud comes by, they're immediately off to the next thing. That's not the kind of farmer you want. Or mixing metaphors again, the thoroughbred. The thoroughbred is a racehorse. It's not a donkey. And mixing metaphors again, some of the people you're going to select are donkeys. It's just not. This is just not their business. It's not what they're good at. They refuse stubbornly to learn how to do this business. And they go back to the old world of working for somebody else because that's just the way they are. They're just stubborn. And yet there are some racehorses when they see the opportunity, I mean, they're off like a racehorse. And, you know, you take 7 or 8 of those for the next 4 or 5 years, and you build with them, you've got yourself, you know, speed. You've got yourself an incredible crop. So the bottom is stories. You know, these are the seeds that you're planting. You know, the stories of when you plant a story, stories have a way of growing. Why? Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I went to church on Sunday, so there were, let's see, how many speakers? There were 6 speakers. What do I remember of any single one of those 6 speakers today? Now this is what's this, Tuesday? Well, it's Monday for you. It's Tuesday, very early morning for me. I don't remember a single concept or word. Is that because I'm older now? No, it's because people forget. But one story from one of the speakers, he was a young man, he was probably 14, 15 years old. And he says, I want to talk about faith. Now, and then he talks about, you know, he's reading this little script that he's written, this little talk. And he goes, and my grandmother, she had faith. She was a swimmer. Now, immediately, I start creating an image in my mind of her swimming. And she would swim out to the buoy in her harbor. And see, remember, I can tell you this story because you can't forget it. And as she's swimming out to the buoy, getting ready for her Olympic trials and all the things she's doing, and let's see, she was a swimmer in Stanford. She was actually, you know, got a scholarship to Stanford. So she was swimming every day, getting, you know, preparing. She goes around the buoy, heading back to the shore, and a fin of a great white shark started circling around her. Now, can you forget that image? And she had been given a promise by one of her religious leaders that she would grow, she would have a family, she would have a posterity, she would, you know, eventually be a grandmother. But this was when she was just a single woman, and she'd been given this promise that one day she would have a family, and she believed that. And so she started to pray. She said, you know, Heavenly Father, God, higher power, I'm to be a grandmother one day. And that's not going to happen if that great white has his way. So please, you know, bless me. And she closed her eyes and started to swim toward the shore. And you can imagine the terror that must have been going through her body. And yet she had faith that that great white would not attack her. Well, she opens her eyes after many, many minutes of swimming, and she sees that the white shark is gone. And he says, and so this young boy, now think of this boy. He's heard that story before. His father and his mother, they told him the story. Maybe his grandmother told him the story, but he has never forgotten it. And I'll never forget it. Why? Because stories are memorable. Stories grow inside you. They can take on a life of their own. They come up with all the different pieces of that story. There was the feeling of that shark. So as you tell stories, your goal is to add every sense you can to the way when you're conversing with somebody. You want to have some smell in there if you can, and some taste and some touch and some feeling. And the bottom line is you want them to feel through the telling of your story an image that is real to them that they don't forget. And I often say this in my speeches. I said, one day you're going to wake up in the middle of the night You're going to sit bolt up. And you're going to realize that what I've been telling you about having freedom and a new life and growing a crop of a better world for yourself and your family, that's really possible. And when you wake up in the middle of the night, you'll either be living that dream, you'll be in your dream home, and you wake up in the middle of the night and you'll sit up and you'll be grateful. And you'll look all around you at where you are living in this dream lifestyle with all the health and all the love and all the money and all the time. And the crops you've grown all around you are evidence you are your crop. You are the crop. You're it. Somebody once said, you know, the verdict is, the evidence is in, and you are the verdict. And right now, all the evidence of your life is in, and you are it, the way you're living right now. Look around you, where you're living. This is the crop you planted. You're living it, it's real. And one day, if you want to wake up in a different place, with abundance all around you, you have to plant seeds every day. If you want more love in your life, you have to plant more love today. You have to be friendlier with the people. And eventually, planting those seeds like that, eventually will grow into a crop of love where people will love you as you are a great leader in RX. When you stand on the stage and receive your award, president, CEO, chairman, chairwoman, do you know how many people are going to love you? Because you could not have achieved that goal without many people loving you for what you did for them in their life. You planted crops in their life, and it grew in their life, and they love you for it. So you're going to have an abundant crop of friends who will love you forever. You're going to have more money, abundant crop of whatever you want. You're going to have more free time. You'll wake up in the morning as you sit up bolt upright in the middle of the day or middle of the night, and you go, tomorrow, as the sun comes up, maybe the sun is just coming up as you look out your window. And today I can do anything I want. Nothing can stop me. I have paid all my bills. I have no debt. My mortgage is paid. There's money in the bank, and every week another nice check gets automatically deposited into my bank account. So I never have to worry about where the money's coming from. I get to choose in this incredible world wherever, whatever, with whomever, for as long as I want. That's freedom. If you want health, you look at your body and you go, you're sitting up in the bolt upright in the middle of the night, and you're going, wow, it was hard, but I'm healthier. I feel better. My brain is more clear thinking. My aches and pains I used to have are all gone. I feel vibrant. In fact, it's in the middle of the night, and yet I don't need that much sleep as much as I used to need. So heavy and drugged out as I used to be with all the food and all the heaviness of life. I just feel vibrant, Now, some people are going to wake up like that. 5 years from today, you could wake up like that. But 5 years from today, more than likely, you will still be on this planet. I hope I will. None of us knows. When I wake up 5 years from now, I wanted to wake up in the dream home that I live in. And of course, I live in that home today. But I want you to, let's look at the negative side of it. Forgive me if I want to be a little blunt, but some people who watch this 5 years from now will wake up in the same bed they woke up in this morning. Or a lifestyle that's very similar, and stunted crops of growth all around them, not enough love, not enough free time, not enough health, not enough money, not enough abundance, and it's all around them. There are crops to grow all around you. It's not an easy crop to grow. I'm not trying to tell you that it's easy. I'm telling you it's simple. I'm trying to make these concepts simple for you so you can get it. It's simple. You know, you just plant seeds every day. You have to plant seeds in your own life, meaning you have to plant, if you want more love in your life, plant love. If you want more time in your life, then you have to take a little bit of the time of today and you have to invest it so that you can grow a crop of time. You have to plant time today. If you want more money today, you have to plant money today, because money is the seed of money. Therefore, you have to spend a little time, a little money on your products you're consuming. You're going to spend a little money on a little kind of, a little Facebook ad. You're going to invest a little money in your business, because investing is all about growing. And the investing is a seed that you nurture and grow, right? And the same thing grows with everything in your life. If you want more health, what do you have to do today? If you want vibrant body health, 5 years from now, 3 years from now, a year from now, what do you have to do today? You have to exercise today. A little bit of exercise today. A little bit of eating right today. You have to do that every day. You want vibrant health. You have to plant health today. And you can't stop tomorrow. You can't just have one good day of exercise and say, okay, I'm done. No, tomorrow, you got to plant some more tomorrow too. So in your life, everything is a crop all around you. You can have anything you want if you plant every day. And if you want a business that grows into everything you've ever wanted, then guess what you have to do? You have to plant every day. So today we're planting, right? Now, I got a chance to meet 2 days ago with the top car salesperson in Asia. Would you like to see her picture? Her name is Nana, and she's been 18 years with the same Taipei dealership. She sells Toyotas. This year, she sells 700 Toyotas. I think the record is like 1,000 cars a year, but she's top car salesman in Asia, probably top 10 in the world, probably in history. She's sold almost 5,000 cars in her career. What's her system? So guess what? I got a chance to meet with her, and I'm hungry to learn from everybody I can, because I like to grow crops too. So I want to find out, what's this farmer doing? Does she have a certain kind of fertilizer that makes this work? Is there seed? Is her system? How does she grow crop like that? Right? So I got a chance to spend an hour and a half with her 2 mornings ago. And this is her. This is a picture of her. This is her book that just came out just a few weeks ago in Taiwan. It's going to be the #1 bestseller. She's a fun little gal. I got a chance to have her autograph a copy of that book for me. And obviously I can't read it, but I'm having Aaron, a friend of mine. This is Nana. We're meeting in the Howard Hotel in Taipei, and the 13th floor, actually. And she's delightful, and she's a small, petite little thing. This is Aaron from Singapore, who's one of my business partners, and he prospected her. Frankly, he found out that she was in the media, and so he had our team track her down. So I got a chance to meet with her, and it was just fantastic. Her system, what is it? What do you think? I mean, she has to sell more than 2 cars a day. So obviously she doesn't work 7 days a week. That means she's going to sell 2 to 3 cars every single day. Now, how do you think that works? Well, I asked her, I said, what percentage of your cars that you sell this year are referral business? People who you sold a car to last year, or the year before, the year before that, and they've come back to Nana to have her sell them another car. And though she didn't have to work to track them out, sometimes they just show up. And why do they show up? Because the way she treats them, they love her, and she loves them. And so half her business is referral. That means, or not referral, but repeat business. It's residual sales. This is what we're doing in RX. We're trying to create residual business. We're trying to have a customer consume that product this month without us calling them. Next month, they automatically order the product again, maybe a few different ones this month, and next month they order some more, and eventually you have a couple of hundred customers like that, like Nana does. So she's going to make 700 sales this year. Half of them will be people she doesn't have to talk to. They just come back and say, Nana, the lease is up. Sell me another one, you know? So you want to work with your customers like that so that they never leave RX. The products are good. They give great benefits. They grow a great crop for you, but they come back not because of RX. They don't come back to buy a Toyota because of Toyota. They come back because of Nana. And so she says, going in, when a person, you know, walks into the dealership, I realize I'm not selling cars. I'm selling myself, and I'm selling them on their dreams. These words came out of her mouth. I actually wrote them down, and I was really excited when she wrote them down. She said, heaven commissioned me. It's my mission. It's my calling. That's how important she feels. She feels as if she has on a divine errand to help people get into a car. And it seems like when you think of a car salesperson, this image doesn't usually come to your mind. And frankly, some people think of network marketers like they do used car salespeople. And yet they don't think of Nana that way. They don't think of her as a car saleswoman. They know they need a car. Everybody needs a car, period. She is such a source of light to them that they want to be around her. And she doesn't say to them, it's my calling to sell cars. Yeah, heaven is commissioned me. She doesn't say those kinds of words, but she believes them. When they walk in the door, it's like, okay, universe. She called it the great, let's see, what did she call it? I wrote down in my notes. She called it the whole cosmos, the way she described it. You know, I've got my my notes that I wrote, and I got 3 pages of notes. I can hardly stop writing. So she feels as the whole cosmos is channeling, you know, through her, the gift of transportation to this one person, her customer. Number 2, her next step as they walk in, she's Sherlock Holmes. She observes their personality. What kind of personality is this? How do they move? How do they drive in? Everyone has a different way of driving into the lot. How they park? Do they lock the car? Do they, you know, how do they interact with the guests they might have brought with them? The wife, the children, the husband, the grandmother. You know, who came? In other words, she can sense immediately what that person is like. She comes up with kind of an evaluation immediately, like Sherlock Holmes. Now, does Sherlock Holmes care as he's gathering clues, whether whomever he gathers the clues from doesn't like Sherlock Holmes? Sherlock Holmes is a detective, and he doesn't care what you think of him. And most of us, when we are gathering information from the people we're talking to, we care what they think of us. We're offended, or we think they're judging us, and we are afraid that they'll judge us. And yet Sherlock Holmes doesn't care. He's gathering information. Why? Because he wants to gather information, the most accurate information, so he can discover the clues to having them have a better life. So she sees herself as Sherlock Holmes. She even used the word Sherlock Holmes in Chinese. Sherlock Holmes, you know. And so she observes as they watch in. Which car do they go to? How do they react? Then she's the mirror. As she approaches them, she's mirroring. She's trying to empathize where they're at. She realizes they have feelings. What are their feelings? So she tries to feel what they're feeling. She realizes they're probably afraid. They don't want to be pushed. They know, the reputation of some pushy salespeople. They are guarded. They got walls around them. They got fears and anxieties and worries, not only about this car experience, but they've got those fears, anxieties, and worries from their life, the debt. Can they afford the payment? What is their spouse going to think? Am I going to have a job tomorrow? They're a bundle of fears, and so she tries to empathize. That's one of the first steps for her. Then she scopes out. If it's multiple people coming in the same group, she says, "Who's the decision maker here? Is it the wife? Is it the husband? Is the husband deferring to the wife? What do you think, honey? Is the husband saying, well, is the wife saying to the husband, maybe you like that one, however, she just picks it out. She knows who the decision maker is, and she knows how to involve the other people, in the process. And, like she said, if the grandma came and grandma's trying to get up in this four-wheel drive, Toyota Cruiser, and the grandma's having trouble getting up there, she'll notice that. She'll say, I don't know, is grandma going to be in the car with you a lot? This might be not the right car for you. In other words, she's trying to be in their shoes and make sure that the solution she provides is a solution that will ultimately be best for them. She has their best interest in mind. She doesn't care about her quota of selling 3 cars that day. She eventually drops that hint, but at first she doesn't. Then she says, I have to be confident. I'm confident. They came here to buy a car, not a fridge. And she used those exact words. She assumes the sale. She doesn't assume that they're not going to like her. She doesn't assume that the car's too expensive. If they're walking in on her dealership, hey, the game's over. She knows the sale's going to happen. She expects it, and she assumes it, and she's confident in it. Talk about faith, and that's what confidence is. Confidence, faith is just confidence in things you're not sure of. So she just assumes the person came to buy a Toyota from her, and she's the right person to make it happen. Then she gets them to feel the dream. She said, I never talk about the wheelbase, how many horsepower this car has. I never talk about all the little tools and gadgets. She said, I never talk about that, which is exactly what most network marketers do wrong. They always talk about that. They say, look, notice these ingredients in this product, there's 362 milligrams of calcium in here. And they talk about the features of the product, how many cubic feet of air your air filter is going to suck up that day, how many drops you do under your drops of your tongue, what's in the drops. They're always talking about the product and describing the product. She says she spends almost zero time on that. She spends time talking about the dream. What's it going to be like to drive a car like that? And she talks about the dream car. She said, this Toyota may not be your dream car. Ultimately, you may want to drive a Lexus, which is, part of the upgrade from a Toyota. But this is your best stepping stone to your dream, of you driving the car of your dreams and having a car like that. Just what does that feel like to be sitting in that car? And she tries to discover what their dream is and what they really want, and then she links the car to their dream. She doesn't sell cars. She sells dreams. And what I've been trying to teach you over the last couple of months, and you can go to the archive and watch, when you talk to somebody, you're going to ask them, what do you want 5 years from now? And they're going to want 4 seeds. They're going to want more love, more time, more money, and more health. And when you get them to imagine that, Try to get them to feel what it feels like to be like that, to live a lifestyle like that. And you ask that question, how would that feel? You sell the feeling of the dream. You don't sell a bottle of pills. Get that? Really important. And finally, the close. She notices when they're happy and when she's a fun person to be around. When they're happy, she says it's quick. I don't take much time. Very quick. I am warm, but I'm straight. Am I the person to help you? And they've been with her. She uses the word happy a lot. She wants to make people happy. People want to be with her. She makes people feel happy. You know why she makes people feel happy? Because she is happy. She's happy doing what she loves. Now, if you're afraid to do what you're doing with ARCs, get over it. Figure out how to be happy about it. Figure out how to, the gifts you're giving, the seeds you're offering, the crops you're going to be planting with them, you're going to change their life. Feel that. Now, this doesn't work every time. You got to understand that. 3/4 of the time, you're going to do this kind of stuff, and nothing will happen. It'll be cold, rock hard ground with birds eating the seeds right in front of you, and weeds and rocks, and it isn't pretty. And not everybody she sells who walks into her showroom is attracted by the way she does it. Some people just don't like women. Some people don't like men. Some people just don't like the way she looks. She doesn't care about what they think about her. She cares about them. She cares about their dream, regardless of what they think about her. She's more interested in their dream than in their opinion of her, than in their opinion of the car she has. That's just their opinion. Her belief, the truth she has about them is she loves them. She loves them into their dream automobile. And they keep coming back and back and back 700 times every single year. Now I'm helping her, expand her repertoire, how to be a public speaker and how to maybe get her book published in America or other parts of the world. She now has incredible success that she can now parlay all around the world. And so I'm helping her a little bit. She's helping me a little bit. The bottom line is I was just excited to learn about her system. And I'm excited to share that with you today. I hope that's been valuable to you. See you all next week. Let's see what time we have. It's about five minutes to the hour. Been about an hour call. I will open up the call. Let's see. I'll open up the. Let's see. Don't do that. If there's any questions, comments you would like to share with me about today's call, I'll be happy to unmute everybody. There we go. And you can unmute your and share with me, if you would, any thoughts you had about today's call. I'd be happy to hear it.
Hi, Robert. It's Nancy here.
Hi. Who was that again?
It's Nancy.
Oh, hi, Nancy from the UK.
Yeah. Thank you for another fabulous training.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic that while you're traveling and you must be sleep deprived, you put together a fabulous, wonderful training. I can't wait to listen to it again. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, Nancy. Yeah. I got up early this morning. Why? Because I really wanted to be with you. It was more important to me.
Did Becky have something?
Any other comments or questions? You don't have to if you don't want to, but any other thoughts you want to share? Any ahas? That'd be helpful to me. What's an aha you had? Where you go, oh, I hadn't thought of it that way before. Share one with me, like that. Okay, Mary, come on, share an aha. Marcia, give me an aha. Let's see. Nancy, Michelle, Becky, Joe, any ahas that you learned today?
Robert, this is Nancy. I had to Facebook my team saying, what seeds are you planting today? Seeds of money, more health. I forget the other two. Oh my goodness.
Time and love.
More time, more love. So I think that inspires everybody. So I love that. Thank you.
Great, Nancy. I see Joe there. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Robert. This is Mary.
Hi, Mary.
Oh, Robert,
Hi.
Randy, you good.
My aha is
Yes.
what you were talking to me about. If you don't like the crop you are currently reaping, then you need to plant different seeds today. So I think sometimes we find ourselves in a field of poison ivy and we think that's just our lot in life. And we just need to rip that crop out and plant something different.
Hey, it's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it just takes time to grow new crops, unfortunately. It probably took you a while to grow the crop you're in now. So, let's just burn that crop and go plant another one.
There you go. There you go. Thank you very much.
All right, good. Somebody else got to share an aha with me. I learned from what you learned, so teach.
This is Becky. Hello, this is
Hi, Becky.
Hi. Just an offshoot to what Mary said. If we turn over that crop of junk, the stuff we don't want, let that be the fertilizer that causes the next crop to grow even higher. Because we do. We learn from our mistakes. So let's turn it over and let that be the fertilizer.
I like that.
Oh, that's a good, I like that one a lot. I'm writing that one down. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
You
that.
can tell I have a business partner who's a farmer, right?
Good analogy. I love that. Very good. Okay, everybody has to tell me an aha. I want to learn what you learned.
Bob, I liked the.
Come on, Michelle. Sarah, what'd you learn today? You like the what?
This is Brenda, Bob. I liked the share from the gal in there in Asia. I like that she just embraces everybody and loves them. It's not about the cars.
Yeah, exactly. Nana. Yeah, she's amazing. You can't be with her without smiling. She just makes you smile.
That's great.
I've got a aha, Robert.
Good.
You must meet yours. The story of the lady and the sales lady, the car sales lady. Sorry, I forgot her name. A great reminder to sell the dream, the vision, the result, benefit, not. I fall into that trap myself about talking about how much milligrams and wonderful products and ingredients are in the products and stuff like that. And the bottom line is the benefit they want, period. The vision.
Absolutely.
Hello?
Great aha. Thank you.
Here.
Anybody else? Share another aha with me.
Robert, it's Michelle.
If you want. Yes, Michelle.
Hi.
Yes.
Well, your meeting today was very timely. I happened to speak to someone who is in another organization and is struggling because they are not following their passion. And they're having a really hard time recruiting and finding customers. And so she understands the idea of sowing seeds, but she does not appreciate how much her lack of passion is affecting her effort. And so I think that just becomes very key for all of us to remember that we can have a passion for any one of these products, that we can really make a difference in people's lives. And by doing so, we change our lives. And so this particular individual I spoke to may actually be ditching that company and coming over to RX because we seem to understand balance and focus and personal success. So that's my aha for the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michelle. Great aha. You know, you heard these images or these stories of people planting, you know, little seeds in your kitchen with your kids, and where one of the plant you give it hate, you know, and the other plant you give it love. You know, you send signals of love to it, and you know, the plants that you hate, they just don't grow. And the plants that you love and you nurture and you take care of, they just flourish. And it's all mental. You know, you've seen these images of these little plants that the kids have grown in the kitchen. You ever seen that before? And so if you send a signal of hate, you hate what you're selling, you know, that crop, it ain't gonna grow. You know, you gotta love the industry we're in. You gotta love the products we have. You gotta love the seeds we're planting. You're a farmer. You gotta love what you do. Good. Somebody else. Share an aha. I want to learn. All right, everybody. Love you. Have a great day. Plant some seeds today. I'm going to plant some seeds today.
Have a great trip, Bob.
You go plant some seeds. Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.
Now, next week is going to be a little tricky. My plane gets in at 10:30 in the morning in LA from Taipei. So it's going to be a little tricky whether I'm going to be able to make it for our live call. I will do my best. I might. If you see a notice on the Goldmiind website that says that my call is going to be held a little bit later that day, that's probably what we should do, Brenda. We're just going to, you know, this week as I'm going to be flying in from Taipei, and I'm probably going to be 14 hours ragged, but nonetheless, we'll do it. Have a good day, everybody. Love you.
Thank you.
RX, awesome.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.